Hi.
Hey, Megan, how are you doing?
Good. How are you today?
I am great. Megan and I are both very, very excited because we both managed to snag hair appointments this week. So yes, we are going to be getting some touch ups and things done. So we are super, super excited about that. And
I
we are
bet
very
Brady's gonna top hers
excited.
off.
I am like cutting it off. But we are glad that tomorrow those people in the close contact business can get back to work. We know they're
That's right.
excited, and we appreciate all the extra efforts that they're going to make sure that they comply with what's going on. But today is National Teachers Day. And so
Yeah.
we all know that teachers play a major role in everybody's lives, and they make such a big impact. So we want you to tell us about the teacher that made the biggest impact in your life. And so we went today to pick up the school lunches, and my kids went, and all of Wes's sixth grade teachers, or a lot of them were there, Miss Garner, Miss Harrison, Miss Gorecki, and oh, he wanted to get out and hug them so bad. But we just want our teachers to know how much we appreciate them and think that they are great. And tomorrow, we want you to tag a local teacher, and we're going to be giving away some gift certificates to some of our small businesses. So we're supporting our small businesses. We'll be giving away some gift certificates to Nature's Market, Hancock Family Farm, Ink and Screens, Honey Run Boutique. So be on the lookout tomorrow for that. And Megan, why don't you tell us about the senior showcase?
Yeah. So currently, if you guys have been driving through town and looked up on the Lamar billboard sign, you have seen our senior showcase presented by Tal Plumley with Farm Bureau Insurance. It is an opportunity to highlight our seniors, class of 2020 high school and college graduates. So there are currently a new group of seniors up there on the billboard, and parents, please keep in mind that we have emailed you to let you know the dates that your student will be ran there. So, and also, if you have not already sent your senior picture in, send it to seniors@whitehousemchamber.org, and we'll be able to get that up there for you. So thank you, Tal, for partnering with us to present this fun little senior showcase we have going on. So.
That's right. And today we are super excited to have some of the members from the White House National Day of Prayer Task Force join us to talk about what's coming up on Thursday, which is the National Day of Prayer. So we will have them joining us, and we're going to welcome them right now. We're going to bring in Miss Fran Hutson and Kim Reid and Mr. Jim Ring. So good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Hey, man.
Hello.
How are you all doing today?
Great.
Very good.
Yeah.
Doing good.
Awesome. All right.
What do I do with my hands?
Keep that in front of you. No, none of this. So Jim, or Assistant Chief Jim Ring with the White House Police Department, he is our fearless leader this year. He is the chairman of the task force here in White House that is putting together the National Day of Prayer services and celebrations. So Jim, why don't you tell us just a little bit about how this all came to be and what sparked this desire to have this day in White House with you?
Last year was, and I guess a shorter version, was looking for an event. And I don't know why, I just kind of assumed with the National Day of Prayer being in the Bible Belt of the United States, thinking there would be something going on in the White House area. And I planned on attending in some shape, form, or fashion. And then as I started looking, there wasn't one. And then I spoke to a friend of mine, Bob Cook, who is on the committee as well, and was telling him about it. And then in true Bob Cook fashion, he turned to me and said, well, I believe God's laid it on your heart to start something like this. And it may have been even after a conversation I had with my son, who's taught me something, who was worked at the YMCA in Springfield. And he had been, I don't want to say a chair or co-chair, but helped organize the National Day of Prayer event for Springfield at the Y, and then something downtown in Springfield at noon. And just blown away by how influential he was and what he was doing made me feel less than worthy. So I came back with Brother Bob, I guess, pushing me a little bit. But then he said, I've got some super fine people that will pull you up out of the ditch. And he mentioned a couple fabulous people like Mandy Christensen. Then she introduced me to Fran Hutson and Kim Reid, and these wonderful people came together, and we brought on Jeremy Sisk and Eric Ink, who also worked here at the police department, are some of the finest Christian men that I know. And together, we've all, a lot of them, a little of me, pulled this thing together so far.
Right. And so that was, God laid that on your heart. And almost at the same time, or nearly at the same time, Fran had been hearing some murmurings and whispers too about a praise and worship night that she wanted to have. So Fran, why don't you tell us a little bit about that and how it's come together?
Yeah, so the National Day of Prayer really wasn't in my scope of knowledge, actually, except I knew it existed, but that's about it. But for me, after the amphitheater was named after me, I was very humbled, but I was also a little bit guilt-ridden with this beautiful amphitheater in our community. And so I feel like I needed to do something, and God was pushing me to do something. And what I kept hearing was something around praise and worship, interdenominational, really unity in the community, driving that. So I called, the first person I called about this was Mark Barrow, who is in the White House community and ministers at Aldersgate. And I just asked him to pray with me and for me, and just to see, not make any decisions, just like think about what could we be doing. And then the second person I called was Mandy to get her experience on what these types of venues have ever happened before in White House. And then, as Jim said, Mandy just kind of put us together. We ran into each other at one of the police academy. The police, what was that, Jim? It was the
awards banquet.
Awards banquet. And he said, "Oh, I hear you're interested in the National Day of Prayer, helping put something together, or like doing it." And I'm like, "What are you talking about? I hadn't even heard about that yet." And so then we had a conversation, and we decided to put a committee together. So he brought 2 people, and I brought 2 people. And that was the beginning of that core committee that started praying and asking for guidance on what should this be. And here we are today, and here we'll be on Thursday, all prayer-led to what I think is going to be a spectacular prayer engagement for the community.
Right. And so the National Day of Prayer is an annual celebration that's been in existence for hundreds of years. But Fran, do you want to tell us a little bit about, I know 1952, I think, was when President Truman signed it into a national day, and then Reagan did some more. So tell us just a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the chronology is at least listed in the National Day of Prayer supplements that you can go to. In 1775, the first Continental Congress called for a National Day of Prayer. That was the first one. And then Lincoln called for a proclamation, which was in 1863. And then, Mandy, the Truman signed the law for the National Day of Prayer. Reagan actually amended that law, saying it would be the first Thursday in May. And then I think it was last year was the first year that all 50 states in the country, plus some U.S. territories, actually endorsed a proclamation for the National Day of Prayer. And that's pretty big.
It is very big. And so it is a national day, and there is guidance. We have taken our guidance from nationaldayofprayer.org. They have given us some areas of prayer to consider. And of course, each community can personalize it however they want to. And we'll have 2 very different services. In the morning, we'll have a very traditional prayer service with some music. And then in the evening, it'll be much more contemporary and relaxed with a lot of worship leaders participating. But Kim, why don't you tell us the major focus areas that the National Day of Prayer organization suggests that each community pray about and lift up on that day?
Sure. There are 7 that they recommend, and then there's a couple of more that we are customizing into our specific event. But they're church, government, the family, education, business, military, media. And then we also feel, especially right now, to add healthcare, our healthcare workers and medical professionals into that, and then also community, because we live in a wonderful community and we want to be lifting up our community of White House and surrounding areas too.
Right. And of course, when we started planning and started meeting, the task force started meeting in, was it October of last year? I believe we've been meeting a little bit. But originally we planned to have it at the Fran Hutson Amphitheater. We were going to have a morning praise prayer service with a breakfast and fellowship. And then in the evening, we were going to have something that was more geared towards families because, of course, we expected children to still be in school and people to be going to work. But because of the current situation, we have adjusted and adapted, and everything now is going to be a virtual service. So we'll be streaming live from the Chamber's Facebook page at 7:30 a.m. on Thursday, May 7th, with a traditional prayer service. And Jim, why don't you tell us just a little bit about some of the participants in that service? With a lot of community leaders and familiar faces that people are happy to see.
Right. I think that's what we wanted as Fran, I think, has coined the phrase, unity in the community. So all of us being in this community of White House, and we wanted to have people participating that are actually in this community. One of the singers, Nadia, just works at the doctor's office here locally. Dracus is a fireman here for the city of White House. Ava Hurst. I've been watching YouTube videos of her all week, and man, oh man, she's done the national anthem on some of the biggest stages around. That's just awesome. So those are our singers, and then Wade's Lawn Care Services praying. Jeremy Sisk will be praying. Bob Cook. Eric Inc. will be reading some scripture, and I'll probably forget someone else. Mandy, I know you were doing something, but you got
I was doing something. Right. I got out of it, so I'm behind the scenes. We have Randa Ziden is going to be reading scripture. Mr. Witt, who is the principal at HB Williams, will be leading us in prayer, as will Mike Gaines. So we've got a lot of community leaders, and we'll be praying for those different areas in unity with the whole country. And then the evening service is at 6:30 on Thursday night. And we're really excited about that because we have pulled together so many talented people from all across the community, and several different churches are participating, but they're not necessarily participating as their church. They're just participating to spread the word and lead our community in praise and worship. And so, Fran, why don't you tell us a little bit about who we can see on Thursday night?
Yeah, I'd love to. So we actually had the opportunity to have a couple of live meetings before everything shut down, anticipating, we would just do a practice or so before the event. And we, Kim and I, as part of the subcommittee for the evening session, we prayed about the worship leaders and the talent in the community, and we asked actually Christina Rupert from Northridge to take the lead in helping to pull the musician side of this together. And so when we met, the coolest thing happened. Like not everybody, there was at least somebody that everybody didn't know, right? I mean, like it was the first time everybody met together, and it was already a unity in the community thing, even if the event didn't happen. And we had to cancel. There was some seeds of community that was actually pulled together. So we have Nathan Woodard is part of the set. There's basically going to be the 7 focused prayer areas where we'll have an opening, and then a prayer, a scripture, or I should say a scripture, and then a prayer, and then a song that was picked out by these worship leaders to go along with what the theme of the focused area is. And I hope you don't miss it, because it is truly a worship experience. If you haven't experienced worship and prayer through song, this will be a blessing for you to be a part of. So we have Nathan, we have Christina from Northridge, Chris and Sonia Wiley from Living Word Fellowship, Ronnie Foster from Life Center Church. And then I think that's everybody. We actually had a fuller group of musicians, a couple of which aren't going to be able to participate in this forum, like Jared Juliet. He's an electric guitar player and doesn't sing. So we have him on standby for the live event. And then Lindell, who is a keyboard guy. So in keeping to the guidance of just being in small groups and it's all being live, these people are all going to be broadcasting from their home computers in groups of 2 or 3.
That's right. And so we will be following all of our social distancing guidelines. And, right now, if you're watching, we really could use your prayers for a smooth service and no glitches, and that we would reach who we are supposed to reach with this service. But want to re-emphasize again that it is this Thursday, May 7th at 7:30 a.m. will be the first service. And then at 6:30 p.m. will be a praise and worship service. And we have posted the program of each service in the comments section of this video, so you can see that. And then we also have got the information about the live streams on the chamber page. The chamber is kind of facilitating this so that we're a central location. Some of the other churches will pick it up and live stream on their pages too. But we would encourage you to help us spread the word and invite your friends and your family and join us for part or all and both or one, whatever you can do. And it is a time to just pray for our nation. And of course, right now, it does appear that our nation needs a lot of prayers, and especially our businesses, from a chamber perspective, especially. And I know that Kim, you guys are a small business owner. This is definitely a very unique time and a time that we all need to be turning to God for guidance. So do you guys have anything else to add?
Did we say anything about the national event itself? Is at 1 o'clock?
Well, that's unclear.
Oh, okay.
Right now they have an event posted that begins at 7 p.m. our time, which is in the middle of our praise and worship service, and they've moved that time around a little bit. So you can visit their page to find out for sure when their actual event will be streaming. Is that correct, Jim?
I think so. And I think, Kim, I had been saying, I think even in the video, 1 o'clock. I think the White House, maybe President Trump and Pence may be doing an event at 1, and that may have been what I was thinking.
Okay.
And I think, Kim, there was 2 names that we failed to mention. Dr. Yim for the morning, and then Kyle Hale.
Yeah, Kyle's doing a prayer.
And I may not have mentioned them, or I may did. So.
No, I missed Kyle. You're right.
Dr. Yim poking me with a needle next time I see him.
That's all right. And you can see all of that information in those programs. So we've got the service programs in the comment section, so you can take a look at that. And also we'll have links to the live streams as well. And it's not just something that's happening in White House. I know that Portland is hosting a National Day of Prayer. So all over the country, there will be hundreds, if not thousands, of communities that are hosting their own events that are unique to their communities. And really right now is a time, kind of like church, you've been able to visit a lot of churches because of the virtual services. It's an opportunity to participate and witness a lot of different communities and how they worship and pray and what their specific needs are. And we've invited a lot of our government officials because they obviously are on the list, our community leaders and things like that. So we hope that we'll have a lot of people join in with us and celebrate and lift our nation on that day. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you for all of the work that has gone into this and all of the prayer and time and commitment that you guys have done. And it's an exciting thing, and I know that we are going to see it grow and turn into a lot of things. And we, as soon as we're able, we are going to get this praise and worship group together, and we are going to have a praise and worship night at the Fran Hutson Amphitheater. We just don't know exactly when that's going to be, but for certain, be on the lookout for that, and it will be an amazing event.
And Mandy, if anybody's interested in preparing for 2021, please have them get in touch with any of us or through the email that we set up, I guess, that will be showing.
Right, yes. Yes, they can contact us at this email if you are interested in participating in next year's, or if you have specific needs that need prayer, or if you have questions about prayer and salvation, you can email and we will connect you with the right people. And we are going to show a video that our committee put together to end today's broadcast, but we want to thank you all again so much for everything you've done, and we hope to see everyone Thursday morning and Thursday evening. So Megan is going to share that video with us. She's working on getting it up just now. Thank you again, guys. Don't forget to tag your teachers and send us your seniors, and we will see you guys Thursday.
Thanks, Mandy.
Thank y'all. The National Day of Prayer is the first Thursday of May every year, and this year is no different. So mark your calendars now for May 7th. This is a nationwide event, and this year is the first in many that White House will be hosting a local event for the National Day of Prayer. We know this will become an annual event with this dedicated group planning to never miss a year again.
Yes, not only are we having one event, but we're hosting 2 events in White House where our community can come together and unite in prayer. We as a committee have been praying since last year in preparation for this event. So come and join us.
The 7 specific areas of prayer focus for the Day of Prayer are education, family, business, church, government, military, and media.
The national theme for the National Day of Prayer is Pray God's Glory Across the Earth. It's taken from Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 14. Scriptures read, "For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea." What a timely theme for our nation at this season of what we're going through, praying for the glory of God, the will of His Son to be done in our lives and families and communities and in our whole nation. I hope you'll join us. God bless you.
Our prayer event's going to be a little different than we originally planned. So it's going to be on a virtual venue, which most of you guys know how to use, but I ask that maybe if you have friends or family that don't, that maybe you can teach them how so they can participate in this event also. Our first event is going to start promptly at 7:30. We just ask for you to look for your Facebook invite from the Chamber of Commerce.
Community leaders and volunteers in a non-denominational setting will be leading us in prayer and songs, all praying to bring our community and nation together.
Hi there. Gather your family in the evening at 6:30 p.m. so that you can join us for a unique praise and worship virtual prayer event. We're so excited about this, and you can join with us on the White House Chamber Facebook page. Make sure to bring your family together and let's praise and worship and pray together.
We are all getting more comfortable with these virtual events. Please let us know if you need any help logging on. We've already started bringing unity to the community with our preparation. Please come and join us.
Now you've met a lot of our National Day of Prayer committee members. We've all been praying and planning for the National Day of Prayer event on May 7th. We hope that you will gather your friends and families and your coworkers and join us to pray for our nation on Thursday, May 7th at 7:30 a.m. and then for a praise and worship service at 6:30 p.m. Thursday night. It will be live streaming on the White House Area Chamber of Commerce Facebook page. We'll see you then.